Good evening, everybody. Welcome to City Council. If you'll stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We'll call the meeting to order. One quick announcement. I think everybody, or almost everybody's aware that we had a cyber breach on or about New Year's Day. And our team, our IT team, Billy Trump, Jessica Chandler, Shirley Trotter, jumped in on New Year's Day to respond. And we think we're making headway. We're working now with 2 law firms that were appointed by our insurance carrier, Travelers. And we've had daily calls. They're in the investigative phase of the research right now. And again, I think we're making progress. We're not quite back up to full operating procedure right now, but we're working hard on it. But I commend those I mentioned earlier, Billy and Jessica and Shirley, our IT department, for such a quick response on what was obviously a holiday. So we're working hard on that. Next, a matter of business. Reading and approval of the minutes from the regular council meeting dated December 12th, 2023.
Motion to approve the minutes as presented.
Seconded.
That motion second to approve the minutes as presented for the regular council meeting of December 12th. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed by a like sign. That motion carries. Thank you. Next, resolution for Justice Assistance Grant, a JAG grant, for a prevention resource officer at Woodrow Wilson High School. Mr. Fowle?
Yes, sir, Mayor. This is a resolution that we've been asked to get approved by council so that the city of Beckley can administer this grant. It's a grant for a total of $19,750, and it is to provide a prevention resource officer. The resolution is titled, or states, "Be it resolved that the Common Council hereby authorizes Robert Rappold, Mayor of the city of Beckley, to act on its behalf to enter into a contractual agreement with the Division of Administrative Services, Justice and Community Services to receive and administer grant funds pursuant to provisions of the Justice Assistance Grant Program." And this does require approval by council, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. Well, this has been a very effective program, and from what we hear from the Board of Education, one that's much appreciated. They, of course, participate in a large portion of the funding for this officer. So with that, we have a motion to approve the resolution.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion second to approve the resolution for the PRO officer as presented. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed by a like sign, that motion carries. Next, resolution approving WGI Inc. as a professional consulting firm to conduct Beckley's comprehensive plan update. Who would like to comment on this? Mr. Trump, I think you've worked with them.
Either one.
Go ahead if you want. I don't care.
We're required to do a comprehensive plan, update our comprehensive plan every 10 years. And what we did, we solicited different companies, put out an open solicitation for companies that were interested to participate. We put together a committee to evaluate the plans. We had 3 different submissions, and Captain Morgan was part of it, and this went to the Planning Commission. The Planning Commission looked at the recommendation of the committee, and the recommendation of the Planning Commission is that WGI get the contract for this, and as soon as, if council deems to approve this, then we can begin negotiating, start dates and the particulars that go with the plan.
Very good. Okay, Ms. Fowle, could you present the formal resolution?
Be glad to, Your Honor. Resolution titled, "Resolution Accepting Beckley Planning Commission's Recommendation that WGI Inc. be approved as a professional consulting firm to conduct Beckley's comprehensive plan update. Be it hereby resolved by the Common Council of the City of Beckley that the recommendation made by the Beckley Planning Commission at its January 2nd, 2024 meeting to accept WGI Inc. as a professional consulting firm to conduct Beckley's comprehensive plan update is approved. So we would ask for a motion to approve this resolution, Your Honor.
Okay, very good. Any questions or comments on the resolution?
There will be some public input on this comprehensive plan.
Oh,
won't there?
absolutely. They have a number of public hearings. When we went through their proposal, there's a lot of public involvement that goes with the plan. They evaluate the old plan. And one of the things that tilted this proposal in their favor is they really wanted to be here. They actually had people come and visit Beckley, sit in a council meeting before, the submission of their plan. So they knew a little bit about our community. And they really seem to be anxious to do that for us.
Thank you.
I'm just glad they said in a council meeting and still wanted to come. That's good. Okay, do we have a motion to approve the resolution as presented?
So moved. Second.
Okay, we have a motion and second to present the resolution regarding WGI Inc. as presented. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed by a like sign, that motion carries. Next, adoption of a resolution establishing a special revenue fund. Mr. Fowle?
Yes, sir, Your Honor. I'll read this resolution by title in just a minute. What this resolution does is it creates a fund for the city to deposit any funds it receives in settlement of any of the opioid cases that probably everyone has read and has heard is being, these cases are being settled, funds are being distributed. The city will be receiving funds, and this resolution authorizes one special fund where we place the funds before the money is spent. And this will be a resolution and a fund that will earn interest. And I'm going to read this by title. And this is something we are required to do so that we will have a place to deposit the funds as they are received. It's titled, "A Resolution Pertaining to Revenues from Opioid Litigation Settlement Funds, Creating the City of Beckley's Opioid Settlement Fund, and for other purposes related thereto." And Mayor, it just needs to be approved.
Okay, very good. Any questions on the resolution establishing a special revenue fund?
Mayor, do we know how much was the amount of the funds?
Billy, can you give us an update on the,
It's between 2.2 and $2.3 million.
Thank you.
okay, do we have a motion to approve the establishment of the revenue fund to handle the opioid settlement
So
monies?
moved.
Second.
You have a motion and a second to adopt the resolution as presented by Mr. Fowle. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed by a like sign, that motion carries. Thank you. Next, first reading of an ordinance authorizing the sale of 3082 Robert C. Byrd Drive. Mr. Fowle?
Yes, sir. Mayor, this is an ordinance that authorizes the mayor to sign a deed conveying this property to the purchaser. This is property that's located at 3082 Robert C. Byrd Drive. It's the property between the Gilliam property and the donut shop down there that the city has owned. And this property was sold at a public auction. It was sold on December the 14th. It had been advertised twice. It was a Class II legal advertisement, and then it was done at a public auction at the site of the property. There were two bidders. The bid started at $10,000, and the property ultimately sold for $27,500. And I'll read this ordinance by title, and this will be first reading tonight, if approved tonight, and we will have second reading on January the 23rd in order to get final approval, and then the mayor will be authorized to deed the property to the purchaser. Ordinance is titled, "Ordinance Authorizing the Sale of 3082 Robert C. Byrd Drive, Beckley, West Virginia, as shown on Beckley Tax District Map 11, parcel 189, to the highest bidder." And the highest bidder was a company that's called 3082 Robert C. Byrd, or RCB LLC. the purchaser did create an LLC, and their bid was $27,500. That was the high bid. Mayor, we need tonight just a motion to approve first reading.
Okay, it sounds like that was pretty successful. I think that probably exceeded our expectations for the sale, which was very good. We have a motion any questions on the ordinance?
Mayor, just for clarifications, that's the 27 parking lot spaces and the old ERA building next to the Donut Connection where they lost the front half of the building, I think, recently.
Right, yeah, most recently it was the Old Colony real estate. Yeah,
Thank you.
pretty good. Do we have a motion to approve the ordinance on the first reading? And
So moved.
Second.
have a motion and a second to approve the ordinance as presented on the first reading. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed by a like sign, motion carries. Thank you. Second reading public hearing for an ordinance authorizing the city to purchase property adjacent to the Lewis McManus Trail. Mr. Fowle?
Yes, sir. Just one second here, Mayor. Yeah, this is an ordinance that authorizes the city to purchase 3 parcels of real estate. The city, as has been explained earlier, lost its access to the Robert C. Byrd, the Lewis McManus Trail, the northern section of that trail. When the intersection of Rural Acres Drive was developed, the location we've been using no longer was available to us. So Mr. Trump was able to negotiate the purchase of 3 parcels of real estate that we can use to have access to the trail, to the northern section of the Lewis McManus Trail. And I will read this by title and then conduct a public hearing. Then the consideration that Mr. Trump was able to negotiate would be the total of $20,500. And this is property that was owned by Larry J. Hurt and Mary V. Hurt. They were relatives of a Mr. Hurt that was a longtime teacher here in Beckley that lived, I think, on this property. This ordinance is titled, "An Ordinance Authorizing the City of Beckley to Purchase 3 Parcels of Real Estate Located off Wilkes Road adjacent to the Lewis McManus Rails to Trails." And at this time, I will open a public hearing and ask if anybody in the public or in the audience has any comments they'd like to make, either in favor of or in opposition to this ordinance. Appearing to be no comments, I'll close the public hearing. Mayor?
Thank you, Bill. I compliment Billy Trump on his negotiation skills for basically 3 parcels of property that were probably originally priced at twice what we ended up paying for that. So it does give us access. It gives us access basically behind the Ford dealership, which is well lighted 24 hours a day. So I think it was a great acquisition. So with that, I would entertain a motion to approve this ordinance on the second reading.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and second to approve the ordinance for the purchase of property for access to the McManus rails to trails. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed by a like sign, that motion carries. Next, second reading and public hearing of an ordinance rezoning 13.603 acres of property, which, if I'm not mistaken, involves the allowing the VA Commission to construct a veterans nursing home on the Pinecrest property. So, Mr. Fowle, would you like to take over there?
Be glad to. Yes, I will once again read this ordinance by title and then conduct a public hearing. The first reading took place on November 28th, and what this does, this changes the zoning from M manufacturing to B1 neighborhood highway business district. The reason for the change is the M manufacturing does not permit long-term care facilities in that particular zone. And the neighborhood, or the B1 neighborhood highway business district does permit that. So this property is being rezoned so that the long-term care facility can be constructed and put into use as a long-term care facility. This ordinance is titled, "An Ordinance Amending the City of Beckley Zoning Ordinance of 1971 and the Comprehensive Plan of the City of Beckley and the Zone Map of the City of Beckley as from time to time has been amended to provide for the rezoning of 13.603 acres located along Withrow Loop in the city of Beckley as shown on tax map 49, parcel 12, Beckley Corporation, within the city of Beckley, Raleigh County, West Virginia, from M Manufacturing District to B1 Neighborhood Highway Business District. At this time, I will open the public hearing and ask if anyone in the audience has any comments they would like to make either in favor of or in opposition to this ordinance. Yes.
In general, I'm in favor of it. As everybody's aware, the city council recently in the city took over the Pine Haven shelter, which is adjacent to this. I didn't know whether this is going to affect anything at the shelter with the operations.
We're not aware of any.
I can't think
effect
of
it
any,
would
but I
have.
wanted to ask, so.
It's a beautiful tract of land, but you're right, it's right behind the current homeless shelter.
Mayor, I do have a question. Bill, you said the first reading was what date?
November 28th.
On our, it says December 12th up on our,
I think it's just a typo.
Okay, there's apparently a typo on that.
okay, so that would be,
Right, it was the meeting we had, I believe it was November 28th.
28th, okay.
If I'm not mistaken.
all right.
Mr. Fowle, we don't need to make a motion to amend, do we?
No,
Okay.
no, that's not part of the ordinance, actually. Yes, sir.
So this is property that's behind Withrow, which right now is using how many beds in that building that we know of? That building is sitting there that's got all that room, and how many beds are being used in there right now? Do we know?
I can't speak
I
to
have no
that.
idea.
But it's less than capacity.
Are you
That's a
speaking, are you
huge
speaking of the
building.
homeless
I don't
shelter?
know.
Or
I'm talking about
are
the
you-
Withrow building that's right there, the long-term facility that's already there. We're gonna build another one behind it.
Yes.
Is that correct?
No, we.
I was just wondering why that one wasn't being renovated, but that's just my wondering why we're not fixing what's already there instead of building something else. But building something else is a better idea. And cool.
Any other comments? If not, Mayor? Yes, sir.
Just to address the one question, the access will actually end up coming off of Nicotine Drive when they're finished. So all the traffic will go out that way.
Okay, thank you.
Any other comments? If not, I'll close the public hearing. Mayor?
Thank you, Mr. Fowle. Any other discussion on this ordinance changing the rezoning? I think it's fairly routine, and this is, to address the gentleman's question there, this is not a city project, nor it is a Jackie Withrow project. It's a Veterans Administration project for veterans in nursing home. Okay, do we have a motion to approve the ordinance on the second reading?
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve the ordinance as presented. All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed by a like sign. Motion carries. Thank you. Next, second reading and public hearing of an ordinance establishing a city manager plan, the city manager mayor plan of municipal government. Mr. Fowle?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mayor. Yes, tonight I will read this ordinance by title as I have the previous ordinances this evening. This is an ordinance that was presented for first reading on November 28th. At that time, it did pass and was sent for second reading, which is being conducted tonight. This ordinance is, if passed, would authorize the creation of the city manager form of government. I think this has been well explained through the media, and once I read by title, we will have a public hearing. Anyone will be certainly entitled to speak either in favor of or opposition to the ordinance. This ordinance is titled, "An Ordinance Establishing a City Manager Mayor Plan of Municipal Government and Amending the Code of the City of Beckley as amended by adding thereto a new article designated Article 9, Manager Mayor Plan in Chapter 2, Part 2, the City Code by amending Section 2.2, Compensation of Officers and Employees, allowing time off in Article 1, Chapter 2, Part 2 of the Code, all relating to providing for the qualifications, duties, and responsibilities of the city manager, allowing for the appointment and removal of a city manager, providing transition rules from strong mayor plan to a manager mayor plan of municipal government, requiring the city manager and mayor to be bonded, setting compensation of the office of mayor and members of council under a manager mayor form of the municipal government, and other matters related thereto. That is the title of the ordinance. As stated, I will open this matter to the public in a public hearing and ask if there are any comments made either in favor of or in opposition to this ordinance. And so if anyone has any comments either way, if they would please speak. Okay, go ahead.
Would you like me to stand there or?
If you would, please, so
Yes.
that it'll
I
be
didn't think
picked
about
up.
that last time, I apologize. So, 1954, that's, I went back and did the research. 1954 was when this ordinance, it was put into the charter allowing city council to take this action. 69 years ago, that city council put it in. And in 69 years, including 22 years of Mayor Rappold being on city council, nothing's been done. You know, so it makes me wonder, is it really, if it was such a great idea, why wasn't it done before? Regardless of that, though, because I have done a lot of research, and I still haven't made up my own mind of whether I support it or don't support it, because it's very, very complicated. What I did do, though, and I'm hoping you all did as well, is I went door to door and talked to people. I went to the Christmas parade and I talked to people, and unanimously, nobody had any idea of what was going on, what the ordinance said, any information whatsoever. Nothing. Nothing at all. They have no idea. But that's okay. It's in writing up here, so 10,000 voters can come look. We have a website, Facebook. But the information is up here for somebody to come down and sit. So again, I don't necessarily have a position either way. What I'm asking you all to do is to table this measure, get an information campaign out, and let the residents decide, not the city council in 1954 and this city council now. Please table this, put it on the ballot, let the people decide what type of government they would like. Thank you.
Thank you. Any? Yes, sir.
I got one to say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Is that all you have to say? Okay, thank you. Any other comments? If not, Mayor, we'll close the public hearing and ask that this matter be presented to council for a vote.
Okay, very good. Any questions or comments?
I have a few comments.
Okay,
I was asked to see how the public felt about the city manager form of government, so I did. After explaining a little bit about it, most all agreed to just do it. I met people on my visits to Sam's, basketball games, at the convention center, the Spirit of Beckley, the event at Elevation, Beckley Art Center, Moose Club, Christmas toy giveaway with the Salvation Army, to name a few, plus phone calls, texts, and emails. They were lawyers from Beckley, Charleston, and Martinsburg, 2 mayors from 2 different towns, administration from WVU Tech, Chamber of Commerce members, my accountant, my stockbroker, and young and old citizens from our city who have an interest in local government. I want to thank Jenna Belcher for putting a beautiful article together in the Beckley newspaper explaining the benefits of a city manager. Most all responded with the same phrase: the city council needs to just do it. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom.
Mayor, just a quick comment if I may.
Sure.
I'll be super brief. I haven't spoken with a single constituent that in 5 to 10 minutes of explaining the strengths after attending 4 separate workshops, that I wasn't able to explain why every city in West Virginia, barring Charleston, has already done this. I'm so tired of being a city that people claim is in the Stone Ages. I would love to step into the light. And the reason it makes sense is because currently we don't have the situation of a mayor gone amok, but if we did, let's wait 4 years and make that change with a strong mayor. I'm sorry, but to me, we're talking about a red herring when we're talking about the city manager. It is strong council, weak mayor. which means you divest all of your voices amongst the people up here. And the folks up here represent you. And if you don't like what we're doing, then frankly, you tell us directly. But we give input to the city manager, who is the policy maker. Excuse me, we are the policy maker. He is the policy, or she is the policy executor. That's why everyone's crossed over to it. And we've done this through numerous workshops. And yes, I'm Uptown's council person. And I spend the vast majority of my time speaking with individuals who own businesses, who are involved in businesses. Businesses want to feel supported. And a big part of that is making sure that businesses understand that whenever they're doing business with the city, that in 4 years, everything's not gonna be different. Right now, folks, we replace everybody up here and the mayor's position all at the same time. Wouldn't it be smarter if after 69 years, we start doing some things smarter and doing them differently? Why not stagger the elections so that half of us are replaced and the other half are replaced in 2 years? Why not divest the power amongst you by having a voice for all the persons who can set the agenda for what the city needs? Don't jump for the red herring. There's going to be one power monger person that's going to be a bureaucrat with all the power. This gives you the power. But the problem is, if we wait until we put it on the ballot, what have you, people who are putting their names in the hat now are going to be running for city council, and it's going to be a vastly different job. It's not going to be returning phone calls and making sure that Captain Morgan's the code enforcement guy, who you need to reach out to. You need to reach out to this person. It's a different job. You're setting the policy for the whole city. And I love the idea of that being more than one person and a weak mayor that opens the meetings, closes the meetings, cuts the ribbons, kisses the babies, and makes sure that our city looks progressive, smart, and moves into the future. So that would be what I would like to see after 4 separate workshops on this topic. Sorry, I may have went a little over, but that'll be why I'm voting the way I'm voting.
I was going to thank you for brevity, but I've changed my mind.
I apologize.
No, good job. Let's see, is the public hearing still in effect, Mr. Fowle?
Closed, but I have no problem.
Okay, Christine?
This council has had the authority to change elections. This council has had ample opportunity before now to change to a city manager position. If you research city managers, the ability to manipulate a city manager position is strong. You cannot do that when you have a strong mayor. We talk about the pros, but where are the cons? And where is the people's voice on how they are governed?
In response, we had 4 workshops, which are public meetings.
I understand
And
that, sir.
they're advertised.
I understand that, sir.
And any
But
citizen who
there
wants
are
to.
working people who cannot come down here at
Okay,
8
well,
to 4.
Christine, I'm not
in a
going to argue
day.
with you. Thank you for your comments. Very good. You actually
I would
spoke.
also like to request that an amendment be made to this, that this council does not choose the city manager position. Whoever takes on this position should not be chosen by this council.
Thank you. Any other comments?
I'd like to make a couple comments.
All right.
I voted no on the first reading, and I plan on voting no on the second reading for the main fact of we're in filing period. I mean, at this point, people can file to run for this position. If we did this first year of my term, I might be completely different thoughts, but we're doing this way too late in the ball game. We're throwing this on the next council, in my opinion. We're going to hire a city manager before July 1, before the next council takes seat, and we're just throwing it in their laps. At this point, my personal opinion and what I see is we got to give the voice to the people, let the people vote if we're this close to it. If they vote yes on this election, then the people that are running for council next term will be doing the same position because it doesn't take place until 4 years later. And the biggest part of this, there's no way of changing this back unless we go to the people and they vote on it on the ballot. So if this ends up going and folding and being a terrible idea in 10, 12 years, the only way that it can change is to let the people. So why don't we just go ahead and let the people vote now and let them make their decision? At the end of the day, when I ran, I said I was going to be a voice of the people. I'm always going to be a voice of the people, and anybody I talk to, I can't tell you anybody that told me they were in favor of city manager that I talked to. They were in favor of us, the council, giving the voters the voice, and that's where I stand. And like I said, I'll be voting no on this. If it gets voted no, I'll be voting to put it on the ballot. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cody.
And I'll agree with, Mayor, I'm sorry, I'll agree with Cody.
All right.
Everything he said.
And likewise here, everyone that contacted me, I said this before, and these people didn't otherwise know each other. The common denominator was that the public had no input. I appreciate that we had advocates. I appreciate Jenna, I appreciate Michelle, I appreciate everybody, but at the end of the day, other people at the workshops were not allowed to speak. When we had the vote for the LGBTQ non-discrimination ordinance, that was a very tough decision, one in which I received personally 5 death threats. 5, not 1, not 2, 5. I don't take this job serious. I don't take this job lightly. 5 death threats, but I feel like we did the right thing, and the people spoke. We heard people at workshops. No one is allowed to speak. You only had advocates. When we had the non-discrimination ordinance, we had several people have their 3 minutes to tell everybody how they felt. We made our vote based upon what our constituents told us. I'm like Cody. I want to be a voice for the people. And the people are saying to me, Ms. Hunter, this isn't something that 7 people, and Mayor, you agreed upon that in your article. 7 people should not have this power. It should be the people deciding at the ballot box. That's my comment.
Very good. Anything else? Okay, with that, do we have a motion to approve the second reading public hearing of the ordinance establishing city manager, mayor plan of municipal government?
So moved.
Seconded.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Please show by raising your hands. Looks like we have 4, so that motion passes. Thank you.
Mayor, if you don't mind, go ahead, call for those against, and then we need to keep a record of.
Okay. Yeah. Those who oppose the motion, that's in Cody and Sherry and Janine. Thank you. Well, number 10, now as for Mr. Fowles' guidance on this, was reading an ordinance authorizing a charter amendment to establish a city manager form of government to be placed on the May 14th ballot in the municipal election ballot. So the fact that this motion has carried, it's my opinion that that's a moot point at this point. Do you agree with that, Mr. Fowle?
That'd be
You
correct.
totally just cut the people out. You totally just fucked the citizens by doing this.
Yeah,
I apologize.
yeah.
You have totally screwed over the citizens with this decision.
You're out of order, baby.
You're out of order. You haven't even asked me what my opinion isn't. You don't care what anybody thinks.
Yeah, we had a public hearing there. You could have spoken.
I'm speaking now. It's still public.
And what's your name?
Jennifer Hensley.
Okay.
Shouldn't ring a bell with you, other than you told me to get a computer. I
Listen,
don't believe that this is correct.
officer, would you please escort her out? You're out of order.
What? Freedom of speech? Oh, sir, please take me out of this building, not by his order.
Thank you.
That's against my civil rights, sir.
Okay. We're down to old business. At the last meeting, immediately following the,
Number 11.
sorry?
Number 11.
Number 11, Donnie's got something.
ACBA.
Oh, okay.
1318 Harper Road.
Sorry. Donnie, do you have a report on number 11?
Yes. April Saul's owner, Black Circle Enterprise LLC. Doing business as Black Circle Bistro, 1318 Harper Road. Map 9, parcel 178.1, has filed a notice of intent to apply to operate a private wine restaurant at this location in the B1 Neighborhood Highway Business District. This is a change of ownership application. The location, 1318 Harper Road, and the intended use, private wine restaurant, is permitted use in B1 district, and this use is not prohibited at this location. The location is not in an area designated by Common Council for the use of community development block grant funds.
Very good. This is for, it's not an action item, it's for council's edification only. So, thank you, Donnie. Okay, now we're down to old business. I want to mention one thing that I thought was pretty cool. It came up right after our Spirit of Beckley meeting last month, during which Cam Johnson took it upon himself to raise funds for gifts, Christmas gifts for the Mabscott school children. And the result of that was he raised, I think, $3,600 that night and had another $2,000 that he had already raised. So they had approaching $6,000 to spend on toys, Christmas toys for the, and gifts for the Mabscott School. So that was pretty neat. Yeah. Anything else under old business from anybody?
Mayor, I have something.
All righty.
Is it possible to amend the vote that we just had that,
That's a Mr. Fowl
Mr.
question.
Fall, can I ask for an amendment of the vote that we put it on the ballot for the May election?
It's actually too late. Once the vote was taken, it's too late for an amendment now.
I'm concerned about, you have a council that's divided 4-3, and that's something that you had commented on, that you didn't feel comfortable with that either, correct?
Yeah, that's true. I thought it was
Sherry,
pretty
any
close.
amendment has to be made prior to the vote being taken. You can't amend following the vote.
Thank you.
Sure.
Okay, anything else from any member of council under old business? Anything from any member of council under new business?
I just want to say congratulations to Attorney Dunlap, Councilman Dunlap, with his new restaurant. I had the opportunity to get some food there today, and it was delicious.
Good.
So I wanted to say congratulations, and I want to say Saturday is January the 13th, 1913 is when Delta Sigma Theta sorority was incorporated, and the president of Beckley Alumni Chapter is here, Tina Pennell. And I just want to say happy Founder's Day to the best sorority there is, Delta Sigma Theta sorority incorporated. But our president is here, so just
Very
glad
good.
to see you.
Where's Tina?
She's over there.
Oh, there you are. Didn't see you. Congratulations.
And Mayor, congratulations is in order to Coach Reedy, who his Greater Beckley Christian School's middle school basketball team was victorious in the New River CTC tournament. So
Great.
congratulations, Coach.
Thank you.
Great.
Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you.
Anything else under new business?
I have there was a situation up on Maxwell Hill the other day. It happened on Holiday and Teal Road. Everybody knows that Holiday is somewhat of a cut-through road from Harper Road over to the Plaza area, and it's heavily traveled. And that one section right there is like like a no truck area. It says under 10,000 GVW. And there was a tractor trailer that ran over a fire hydrant the other day, and a lot of the residents out there didn't have water for a day or so. And the question I want to ask to the chief is, do we give this guy a ticket? Does he get a ticket for being on that road in the first place?
Probably should have.
But you
now.
probably couldn't find
If
him,
he
could you?
did, I don't know.
He was
100%.
gone. I mean, I live right there in front in Maxwell Woods, and that happened right there. My whole, it came down that hill, looked like a waterfall coming down the hill. It was flowing,
Yeah.
and I doubt he hit it, and he was gone because we could hear the pop, and we all ran outside, and could you? It was me. It was a pop, and he was gone. I don't think he could have got caught. He went
Yeah.
on down his way up Harper Road.
Well, maybe I should say, could we monitor that road a little better for the truck traffic that goes across there?
Monitor it pretty regularly, but sometimes you do miss those trucks who commit, and it's a little late once they commit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They can't, there's nowhere to turn around, so
Yeah.
once you're committed there, you're committed.
A lot
That's
of them
right.
get stuck in that turn coming
Yeah.
on.
Yeah. It's a close road, and there's a lot of traffic on it, and when tractor trailers, I've seen them come down there and take out power lines and, take out mailboxes and everything else, so if there was some way we could sign it better or something, I don't know, but almost feel like Mary West over there with her LaRue Avenue. It's the same type of situation, ma'am. It's a road that, it's a cut-through road, and there's not much we can do about it because it's a public access road.
I have one idea.
What's that?
You're retired now, right?
Yeah.
Chief, can you deputize him?
I'll pass out warning tickets. How about that?
Mayor, I have something. I
Okay.
have something new.
Making the new morning flight to Maxwell Hill.
We acknowledge the American Legion Cemetery, that now they're gonna have a permanent fund, a perpetual fund at BAF. Thank you to the county commission and the city of Beckley for their contributions. But I also want to say thank you, because since the pandemic, the Linda K. Epling Stadium has been the site of a food distribution for our community at large. The second, and please note this, everybody, the second Friday of every month, the truck arrives from Braxton County from Mountaineer Food Bank. And we need volunteers, and we have volunteers for this Friday, and the public's food distribution is on January 24th, and we've already secured those volunteers. But Mountaineer Food Bank has said several times that had it not been for the location of the Linda K. Epling Stadium, that we would not be able to have that big of a food distribution. And this has been going on since 2020. So thank you for making that possible. Hundreds of veterans are serviced from 10 until 11:30, about 375 food boxes. You do sign up, but once the veterans are signed up, they get their food, and they also provide dog food, sometimes Mayor, and cat food for those veterans. So
That's cool.
thank you.
Very good. Anything else under new business?
Mayor, I'm
Yes.
sorry, I have one more thing. I should have said it when I was talking. But I want to thank Officer Cuevas, I think that's how you pronounce his last name.
Cuevas.
Cuevas, okay. He responded to an incident that happened on Stratton, right across the street from Stratton, South Red Street. The urban community garden was vandalized.
Yeah.
But his urgency with coming there and taking the report, we really appreciate that. And I know now he's saying he's looking at some cameras to hopefully that we can find out who vandalized that property there. So if you drive by, you will notice that it has been vandalized. And I want to thank your workers, Pam. They showed up to replace the sign. I called. It was like 3:30, and I'm like, oh, no, they're getting ready to go home. But they responded, and I just wanted to tell you thank you for them. It was two of them that came in. I should have got their names. But their urgency, it was just fantastic how they showed up. Thanks.
Okay, anything else from any member of council under new business?
Mayor, just, I keep reiterating the warming station, but we have announced that we will be opening the 13th to the 16th due to the drop in temperatures. Sherry Hunter and I know we keep mentioning this, but we don't want to run into a situation where we ever don't have the ability to open because we don't have enough volunteers. 2 persons a shift, we'll train you. No one works more than a 4-hour shift, and nobody works alone, but, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, we've already saved lives. There are people that would have frozen to death under these circumstances. So I thank the community for volunteering their time and picking up a shift and making sure we take care of our indigent.
And Robert, we couldn't do that without the help of Trina Daisel,
Daisel.
the Executive Director of the United Way of Southern West Virginia, and Pastor
Yes.
Betsy Evans, Beckley Community United Methodist Church. That's a wonderful they're wonderful
I mean,
there.
folks don't even know, their congregation makes soups, and we feed people, and there's hot chocolate and coffee, and it literally saves lives. What can you say that you did today that saved somebody's life? I mean, that's what it's all about.
Okay, anything else from any member of council under new business? Okay, it looks like we're down to public comments. We have 2 sheets here. And Mary West is first on both sheets, but you only get to speak once. Alrighty.
Can you guys hear me?
Perfectly.
Yes.
Thank you, because I brought my aid here. I was told I couldn't use it. But anyway, I am back again about the LaRue Avenue, the speed bump, humps, or whatever you want to put on there. I want to thank everybody for what they did trying to get them down there. But I'm here to see if you guys can redeem yourself and do something down there. Now, the comprehensive plan you all talking about, I've been asking to see it for the last 20 years, and I have not seen it.
We have public meetings up here. If
Well,
you'll-
I mean, if you don't know about it, I'm not a mind reader.
You-
So I don't, I've been asking to see it, and nobody has brought them out. And also, why are we paying over there in the county for animal control, and they can't come in the city and do nothing? Now, I'm gonna tell you something. These 2-legged cats and 2-legged dogs, if they came on my property and destroyed it like these 4-legged cats and dogs, y'all come on there and move them. You don't have anything on the books, and you need to put it on the books to help get rid of that problem. And another thing, all of you all think don't nobody know what's going on. The coffee is not gonna smell the same again. You all are incorporating people from donut holes and other areas to draw that map bigger for Ward 5. We've been redlined, gentrification, and now gerrymandering. I am so tired of all that being done to us. And don't act like you all don't know what I'm talking about, because you know. You all are planning on getting rid of the small people so you can have what you want when you bring in all these other people. But I'm gonna tell you something right now. Somebody is gonna have to pay for what's going on. And you all need to just think about it and not, just like this thing for a city manager. Nobody's thinking about what's gonna happen with it. Somebody's gonna pick their favorite to go there. And thank you very much.
Okay, Danielle?
Yes, thank you again, and I've got a bunch of things. Want to start with good first. Want to recognize Kelly Gano and the Raleigh County Family Support Center. They got a $30,000 grant to provide emergency food boxes to the community. It'll probably be another month or so before that's ready to go. And also, she's going to be working on that park to try to get a grant to help repair that park. We were talking about that as well.
Across from the
Yeah,
urban
across from
community.
Stratton.
Oh, okay, great.
On to the median. What Councilman Hunter was referring to was item number 10 on the agenda, the one that was unilaterally taken off, which several council members have said before they didn't like, but allowed to happen. I believe what Councilman Hunter was saying was, let's go ahead and put the change to city mayor on to the ballot in May. Again, so the people have a voice. It's great that you decided for the community to have it. So let's put it back on the ballot to say, let the people decide. We would like to have a strong mayor. If it is a great idea like you all say, or if it's such a bad idea like you all say, the people will make the right choice. They made the right choice in you all, so they can make the right choice there. Lastly is the opioid settlement funds. There was a resolution to create those funds. I'm also hoping that with that resolution comes a whole lot of public meetings on how to spend that funds, and that this is not just another, like the ARPA funds, we spend it and find out later where it went. We have a serious, serious substance use problem in our city. We finally have received funds to do something about it. The Prevention Coalition falls under the Raleigh County Family Support Center. They're out there doing what they can, but they need funding, and we finally have it. You know, I brought to this council several months ago $100,000 to increase our quick response teams to overdoses. We didn't have the money. We do now. So I really hope that, unlike with the city manager and everything else and holding meetings, that we actually put some effort into getting public input so that we can address this problem with these funds. Thank you.
Lewis Morris?
Hey, how are you? Oh yeah, there's if you know or not, there's only one mosque in the city.
Yes.
One on Stanford Road. They have some problems. I went there. I started going there when I first came here in 2016. Right? They have some problems. What they teach Islamically is problematic. I had to stop going there. So I'm looking for a way where we can start another mosque where people who don't want to go to that problematic mosque can come to that mosque. What I'm saying is there are people in the city, Muslims in the city, they go to Charleston to go to their Friday prayer because they don't want to go over there. We need another mosque in the city. So I don't have the money to get it. I was hoping I'd come here, maybe somebody could, help me, maybe, work out, maybe get a grant or something like this or anything. But we need another place where Muslims who want to go and pray and fellowship, where there's no problems with the teachings, can come, at least on Fridays. I'm not asking for every day. We pray 5 times a day, but I'm just asking at least for our day of gathering where we can have a place where we could come and pray.
Can I ask a question, Mayor? Where is your headquarters located? Do you
What?
have a headquarters?
No.
Okay.
No, we don't have any of that because, I don't really see the Muslims around a lot, but the ones that I have spoken to, they say that the ones that don't go over there, they go to Charleston. Because there's only that mosque in the city, and they're not going over there because of the problems that are over there. So we need another mosque in the city. So I don't know how, that works or how, I can, look into that, but this is why I came, because I want to be able to pray with other Muslims and fellowship with other Muslims, and, because I have to pray in my house now, and I would like to be able to go and pray with other Muslims, at least on Friday. So that's it for me. Maybe I'll talk to the mayor after we finish.
Well, to me, the only thing that comes to my mind is a church and state issue, that the city really can't get involved in private religion. If we do it for the Muslims, and we're obligated at that point to help any church we can. And that's why many years ago, our founding fathers established the difference between church and state, which the state is government. So I don't know how much help we could promise.
Judge, if I may, it does run to an establishment clause issue where the government is allowed to promulgate the interest, and often we far too often do for Judeo-Christian faiths,
Right.
Unbeknownst. But this is a great platform because I have friends that have attended that mosque. And I would like to say that because you've been brave enough to come up and speak on this issue, and the media is obviously here, other sympathetic individuals might band together and help open such an establishment. It's just as a governmental entity, we wouldn't be allowed to, it is an establishment clause issue. It kind of precludes us from helping one faith over another.
Okay.
But thank you for coming and speaking.
Okay.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Rose Hicks?
I was supposed to come here and present my issue. I didn't know how to handle it. I didn't know anything about it, but my issue is with Queen Anne Drive. This is Ragland Road, this is Queen Anne Drive, this is Walmart. Queen Anne Drive is absolutely, no, that's true. Absolutely horrendous. The potholes are just so bad. Oh, I didn't know how to present these pictures, so sorry.
Do you want to pass them through us?
I can, yes, yes.
Just hand them to each other.
Well, okay, I want to show some. These is really bad, but, when you get to, like, those was taken yesterday, these is taken today, you can't even see the potholes when it's raining. If it's snowing, even worse. There's one picture there with a car, a white car in front of the pothole, shows the pothole's as big as the car. One looks like a Bigfoot print. Do you want this map?
I jog it, so I know where it
believe
is,
that's
but
in the city.
I don't know. It's about, Captain Morgan, can you weigh in as to whether that's a city?
I don't think it's the city.
Well, the thing is, I've called DOH, and they say they're not responsible. Walmart's not responsible, any little businesses along there's not responsible. Somebody paved that road. Where did the road come from? How did it get paved? Who's responsible? Somebody has to be responsible. I need y'all to find out who's responsible. I went up to courthouse.
Put them in your office.
Estate said that there is nobody they can give you a name for because the road's not being taxed. They don't have a name. They sent me the mapping. I got the map, they sent me to EOC, said it's county. Well, county says it's not county and it says it's not city limits, told me down at clerk's office. But we're getting charged a penny more on a dollar in Walmart, Beckley areas for a city tax. If it's not city limits, why are we getting paid to charge that?
Ma'am, I don't want to interrupt you, but can I tell everyone where this is?
Yes.
Okay, so if you were going past the Mountain Heart office and you take that back road to Walmart, where there's that new place that sells firearms and fireworks.
Bridgeport.
That's the street she's referencing.
Yep, and Pam, correct me, didn't one time we help with emergency repair on Queen Anne several years ago?
I think so.
When Jerry
It's
was there?
emergency again.
Well, let us take a look at it, and
Thank you
if we
so
can
much.
provide
Thank
some
you.
emergency help.
Rose, I know exactly, the potholes are, your whole tire goes into
Yes,
that.
and if it's
Yeah.
snowing, if you know that the pothole's there, you try to miss them, you still will hit them trying to miss them, but you can't see them.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
thank you, ma'am.
yeah, no
Can
doubt.
we,
Thank you.
can we do something about that, Mayor,
We're gonna look
Probably
at it.
developer
Yeah.
road.
as an
Sam's
emergency?
gonna take a look at it on an emergency basis.
Thank you, ma'am.
We can't do anything. That's like-
Now, Jennifer Hensley, was she the lady who left? Was using the F word in public? Yeah, okay, so we won't ask Jennifer to speak. Okay, with that, Anthony, we have anybody signed up on the,
Oh, he was the last.
oh, I'm sorry, you're at the bottom of the list. Come on, Michael. Okay, get up here, come on. Shake a leg.
I left my middle name off there, so you wouldn't mispronounce it.
Okay, all righty.
I had a little trouble with that.
Okay, all right, come on, get up here, let's,
Sorry, I heard it.
okay.
I'm moving a little slow. Assalamu alaikum. All right.
You got 3 minutes, sir.
Of course I do. Perception. Is it reality or is it not? People have perceptions of me. Let them have it. Okay? I'm on the street and I get perceptions from the street about the government of Beckley, the police, and other places. Are they true or are they lies? Are the perceptions wrong or are they true? I don't know. Now, let me tell you some truth. Muslim is an Arabic word that means he who submits to God. So, as a Christian, I'm a Muslim. I'm a Muslim as a Christian. Now, if you're a Christian and you're part of city government, then there is no separation of church and state because you are the church as a Christian. That's all I got to say about that. Now, I'm hearing there's corruption in the police force. I'm hearing that there are prostitutes on the streets that are paying them for protection. If this is true, you need to fix it. If it's not true, don't worry about it. But ask yourself, why has God not destroyed Las Vegas, Sin City? Why is it not destroyed? There's prostitution there, legal. Here we have women walking the streets, homeless women walking the streets, peddling themselves. They may have disease. Are we taking care of them? Are we checking them for disease? I don't think so. Fix it.
Very good. Anthony, do we have anybody signed up online or on the phone?
We do have multiple users in attendance online.
Okay, let me read the instructions here. If calling in by phone, dial *3 to raise your hand. If connected by computer, click the hand icon on your participants panel.
It doesn't appear anybody signed up.
Okay, thank you, sir. With that, we have a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.